Do you feel like you're constantly chasing that next thing? What can I do right now? What's this other agent doing? We have a problem with imposter syndrome, and shiny object syndrome is just a byproduct of imposter syndrome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about shiny object syndrome and how this could be the defamation of your real estate career if you continue to chase that next thing, that next, easy deal, because ultimately we have to step back and understand, build a foundation, and dial in our business. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? This is Jeremy Kane-The Real Estate Agent Playbook. Super excited to dive into this one because I have conversations with agents new and old all the time, and it always seems to be a lack of focusing on the things that actually work to get the job done. So if you like what you hear, please share the podcast with your favorite real estate agent, share the YouTube link. Either works perfectly to build our community. I'm here to help agents win every single day at the game of real estate, and I hope this finds you well. So let's get into it. Okay, so shiny object syndrome. This is something, especially in the Wolf Pack, with all of our live calls and 9 live calls a week and all of these agents that are crushing it, sharing their information, you can certainly get overwhelmed and try and do all the things. And shiny object syndrome is truthfully trying to do all the things without getting consistent and good at any of the things, right? And it usually leads to pretty quick burnout and, pretty much a lack of success. So the first things first is that we try to do everything we possibly can to build our business, to help people get into homes and all the things, but it requires focusing on doing a few things great to get there. My motto lately is everything works. We just need consistent effort over, a period of time, make some adjustments along the way, and get to where we need to get to. So ultimately, it is a trap because you see, somebody crushing it with cold calling up in, Washington, or you see somebody doing a cool new build kind of deal down in Austin, or, whatever, especially in these global groups that are becoming so popular, the cloud-based brokerages, you're connected now with different markets, and that's great, but it's also a curse if you're trying to do everything that everyone else is doing. Real estate remains hyper-local, and it remains very personalized and relationship-based. So don't forget that while you're chasing that next thing. And certainly, I'm a proponent of, taking this great idea, making it your own. I also believe there's no true blueprint that I can hand you in order to be a successful real estate agent. That's why my foundations course is built on a blueprint of different tactics that you can build your business around. However, I'm not going to pick the foundations. You are. And so I'm super excited for that launch. Stay tuned this spring. It will be out. If you're interested in learning more when it comes out, comment course below, and I'll make sure you're on the list to know very first when that drops. And so we must step back a little bit and understand why this happens. There is so much pressure in our industry, whether you join a team or a brokerage, to kind of get off the ground and running. And the failure rate is constantly blared in our face. 19% or 16% or whatever, make it past the 2-year mark, right? That's always in our face. It's always what we hear. And the truth is, it really doesn't matter. You're not a statistic in this game. However, you will become one if you're just trying to do everything. Also, the crazy amount of high splits when you first start in the industry, whether you're on a team and you're splitting 50-50, 60-40 even, 60 to the brokerage and team, 40 to you when you're getting certain kind of leads, that's absolutely devastating to a pocketbook and only makes you have to get more homes sold, right? By the time it's all said and done, if you're on a 40-60 split, you legit have to sell 3 homes to make 100% of what you would on one at, a different brokerage. That doesn't mean that those models are any better than the other. However, it just puts a lot of pressure on us, right? And we have to, succeed. And there's all those people and the naysayers that love to be haters and tell you, oh, you're not going to make it. Real estate's so hard. But it looks pretty easy from the outside in, and people kind of jump into it, and then they see and they're like, oh, okay, I'm truly a full-time business owner, full-time entrepreneur here. And that's the thing, is there's no way for one person when they get their license to be good at the legal stuff, the contracts, the relationships of clients, the marketing, all the, follow-up, the accounting, and all the things that go into being a successful real estate agent running a successful business. And so that's the first thing, is understanding where this comes from. And the pressure is real. And so you have to kind of step back and realize that pressure can absolutely, get to us and make us be like, oh, well, I got to go buy leads. I got to go do this. No, it takes time to build this business. So my suggestion to you is step back and pick 3, 4, maybe 2 pillars of your business to really focus on. If you are that person that has to build one at a time, build one at a time and do it exceptionally well, right? Because I tell people all the time, depending on your market, you have to sell between 5 and 10 houses a year to make 6 figures. That's absolutely insane, right? You literally have to sell 5 homes in certain markets to make 6 figures. And that's what everyone's goal is when they first start in real estate. Oh, I want to make 6 figures. That's what I want to do, right? It's an absolutely great milestone to reach and be at. However, it's so hard to get there if you're just trying to do every little piece. Like, I'm going to do open houses, and I'm going to cold call, and I'm going to get some Zillow leads, and I'm going to be on Facebook, and I'm going to do YouTube, and I'm going to door knock, and I'm going to do all these things. Eventually, you just aren't good at anything. And so my advice to you is to step back and find 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you really want to dial in. And depending on the time you have allotted, right? If you're a part-time agent, which a ton of agents in my organization kind of come in as part-time, and we work to get them to full-time. If you're a part-time agent, pick 1 or 2 things and then dial it in. But this isn't going to just come to you, right? If you're working a 40-hour-a-week job, you have a whole nother 40-hour-a-week job over here, right? Being a part-time agent, certainly you can work 20 hours a week doing it. That's okay. There's no magic in the science of the hours. Certainly, I think we're all pretty, capable of working, 60 to 80 hours a week. However, you must have dedicated effort. Your productivity in those hours worked are absolutely key, right? And I always ask agents that have part-time jobs, like, what's your job? Can we start to kind of leverage real estate? And don't get fired. Don't do anything your boss that's paying your bills would be against, but you have to find a way to bring that real estate in if you're going to, be working 40 hours and then just letting the real estate come. Let's try and incorporate that into your other job and see if we can make that group of people, your coworkers, the clients, if you're allowed, to come in and build that rapport so that you can start and launch your business. Like I said, 5 to 10 deals in any market pretty much is 6 figures here. So we have to step back and understand exactly what's going on, exactly how we want to advance. And certainly I understand, I can see the comments now. Well, our average price point's $200,000 and, all the things. Okay, 5 to 15 deals, right? But the honest truth is it's not that much dedicated effort to get there, right? And most people that are working a full-time job and getting into real estate, their goal is either to replace this income that maybe not 6 figures, or if this income's 6 figures, this is just supplement over here for real estate. So that's where we're at. We have to understand that we must focus. Once you pick those 2, 3, 4 things, focus on those and generate your calendar and your time so that you can understand, okay, this is exactly what I want this to look like. This is exactly what I want to do. Because once you have those things dialed in and everything works out, it's an amazing, amazing career. However, a lot of us struggle to get started because we're trying to do everything. And this goes for social media too, right? If we're on Instagram, and since Instagram's owned by Facebook, we're going to post on Facebook. And since Facebook's owned by, since Instagram and TikTok are similar, we're just going to put the same video out every single time in the same format, same everything, and just throw it and see what sticks. Ultimately, you still need to build each platform out one by one. And I would tell you right now, I love social media. I love building business through social media, but build one at a time, right? If you're trying to build multiple platforms, you're, repurposing content and doing all the things, it only confuses our audience and ultimately probably overwhelms them if it's the same content across all channels all the time. And so that's exactly where we need to make that shift and level up a little bit. But I typically recommend one social media platform, maybe a traditional pillar, open houses or something. And certainly if you're doing open houses, you could go door knock the neighborhood that you're doing them, and you could call the neighborhood, and you could flyer the neighborhood, and you could do some cross tactics, but have one specific one that you're focusing on. If you're going to do open houses, do 2 open houses minimum a weekend. There's some other great people out there, especially in the Wolfpack, that are doing like 4 open houses in one day, and they're just doing shorter increments. That's a whole new strategy that, ultimately this game's just about doing something different and catching people, in different times at different stages and making those changes. So if you're, confused at what to do, definitely look for that course coming out. Also, in the meantime, if you're like, hey, this resonates with me, I have shiny object syndrome, you can definitely book a realtor game plan call. And the last thing I'm going to say about this is usually once we get up and running, I typically like to make sure it's a 75-25 rule. 75% of the time you are focusing on the things that, your pillars, your chosen pillars, and then 25% of the time you can pull in maybe a new thing here and there and trying to do the same thing and turning one of these new things into a pillar. We'll go into that on a future video, but just wanted to kind of bring that full circle. Shiny object syndrome is real for the brand new agent, for the tenured agent. I see it all the time in the agents that I'm coaching. So I hope that helps. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this with your favorite real estate agent if you are not one. And if you are one, share it with your favorite real estate agent anyways. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.